you're walking or you're running or whether you want to go hiking, it is so important to have the right footwear. Dr. Matthew Wagoner is a podiatrist at the Triad Foot Center. He's also a member of the Cone Health Medical Group, and he joins us this morning to talk more about choosing the right pairs of shoes for different activities.
Yes, so it's really important. It might seem really basic that the running shoe versus a walking shoe, and it might seem like they're the same type of shoe, but when you really get down to it, the shoes are very different. And the reason for that is because of the mechanics and the gait or the way you walk are very different. So typically when you walk, it's a much more rocking chair type motion. You strike in your heel, you go to the ball of your foot and then out through your toes. So typically with a more walking type shoe, the shoe tends to be a little bit more flexible kind of in the ball or the toe area of your foot. It also gives you a little bit more arch support because that's where you're putting a lot more of your weight, and it's a lot more of a more lightweight type shoe.
Okay.
So typically with a more running type shoe, you strike in your heel first. So typically a running shoe is going to give you a lot more cushion and a lot more support to the heel area and give you less support to the ball of your foot. Also, typically a running shoe is going to give you a little bit more breathability or more mesh type material to the ball of your foot or into the shoe in general because you generate more heat as you run. So typically more mesh is for more of a type of running shoe. Similarly, this time of year, people are starting to hike, and that's really important wearing the right type of hiking shoe. So typically a hiking shoe is going to give you a little bit more support, more durability, more rigidity, more ankle support for those off-road type activities, and it's more water resistant to kind of help protect your feet a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I have chosen the wrong footwear for hiking, worn flip-flops trying to hike somewhere one time, and, you know, stubbed my toe like, 50 times. So it's good to have that closed-toed shoe as well.
Absolutely, and so that way too, you're stepping on rocks, you're twisting your ankles in that very uneven type terrain, so it kind of gives you a lot more support and gives you a lot more protection as you're more active and stuff too. It's also important that you get the right shoe for your foot type too. So making sure that if you overpronate or you have a flatter foot or you have a high arch foot, it's important that you really try to get measured for your foot and actually get evaluated by a podiatrist or at a good shoe store to have them watch you walk and make sure you're in the right style of shoe too that gives you the right support to your foot.
So that's why when you go into some of the shoe stores, they'll say, okay, this section's stability, this section for pronate, that type of thing?
Absolutely. So one of the things you can do is what's called a water test. So put your foot in water and put it down on a paper towel. And if you notice that you don't see much arch, you have a flatter foot type, you need more of like a motion control. You need to give you much more stability to your foot. On the flip side, if you have less arch, you don't really see much in the arch of your foot. You need more of a more cushion type shoe as well to kind of help give you that shock support, the shock absorption that you don't get with a flat foot. So it's more important that you see what type of foot style that you have and you get fitted for the right shoe for your foot.
And there's also shoes for, like, example, tennis that have more, even though they're tennis shoes, support for your ankle, or volleyball, or soccer, that type of thing, right?
It is, and especially too for like the cross training type shoe. Typically those type shoes give you a much wider sole. They give you much more that side to side control as opposed to just the actual arch and stuff, more that side to side that kind of help with those types of injuries as well.
Well, this has been good information this morning. If you want to learn more about how Cone Health cares for the community or healthy lifestyle tools, resources like what we've been talking about here, there's a calendar of upcoming classes that you can go to, so visit conehealth.com.